Hope, you have a lot going on. And as an entrepreneur, you've actually transitioned from one area to the next. Tell me a little.
Yes, thank you so much. I go where God tells me to go, okay? And I knew that there was something I could do to help. By the time we had a few sessions, God tapped me on the shoulder and revealed to me, hey, you have to do this for a few other children. And that's how Uniquely Me Services just took off. In terms of my achievements, I worked with about 9 children for the last 2.5 years around the pandemic. And once they were ready to go back into their school setting, a lot of the students did very well and they didn't need me anymore. And so that's how I also got shown and revealed to go into another direction that I already kind of was in, but to really expand since I was going to transition out of the tutoring space. Some of my achievements with some of my amazing superstars over the past years have been having a 9th grader in AP biology and having him close to failing at a C- and then helping him get his grades up to a B. So those are some of the things that I'm proud of in terms of where Uniquely Me Services is right now. So I'm spiritually gifted and I have used my gifts to empower, motivate, and inspire other great people of faith. And I definitely resonate with Christ consciousness, so I also incorporate that in my teachings and my services. So what do I offer currently? So right now I have a mentorship program 101 for young students between 5 to 18 years old. Healing, because it's really all about that spiritual energy. So those are the services that I currently offer right now. I am in a transition stage. I'm new to Maryland at this time. Me and my family are here. So some of my products are not available on Etsy Shop, but they will be soon.
Okay, now you just mentioned a whole lot. I want to focus on the tutoring first before we transition. Being that we're in Baltimore, specifically Baltimore City right now, I want to know how you feel about this society saying that our young men and women cannot read, do math, or do the things that they say the normal society is able to complete on an average grade level.
Exhaustion. A lot of it's opportunity, patience, and time. And what I've learned with working with our students, and most of them are minorities, right, is understanding that everybody learns different. And they want to feel comfortable. They don't want the pressure. You have to do the work. You have to get this done. Your assignment's due tomorrow. Hurry up and stay up all night. It's the pressure. None to do with the fact that you're talking about Baltimore. And some of the students have troubles and challenges outside of their school life. So not only do they have to go to school and worry about education, but they might have to worry about their siblings or their parents or whatever the case is. So it's all about pouring love. One of the mottos that I had for my students, and I mean it's really for everyone, it is to listen with love, to learn with love, and to lead with love. And from that you can do a lot of great things. It's all about the intention. So I think that if we can continue to pour more unconditional love into all youths and not look at them based on where they come from or what they look like, the youth of the future is going to be on fire, okay? And I just want to be a part of that, and I'm thankful to be a part of that.
Now, when we're talking about your spiritual gift, we do know, unfortunately, that some religions frown just a little bit on it. Let's speak about it.
Yes.
Can you talk to me a little bit about how you feel about this and how the two correlate?
I appreciate that question. So, a lot of times, especially on my social media and my videos, you see me, I'm not arguing with anyone about my beliefs. And that only reason why I have such a stance on that is because before I came into the reading space or the spiritual space, I came kicking and screaming. I said, God, I don't want to do this. I am going to be crucified. I am going to be stone casted out and all these other things. And God said, okay, that's nice, but I told you to do it. So you work for me. And ever since I solidified that relationship with God, it's been uphill ever since. I have, encountered people who don't, have different beliefs or disagree with any of the stuff that I'm doing. And I've also met really devoted Christian and religious people who look at me and say, I don't quite understand everything you're doing, but the light that I see over you, I know that if you say you follow Jesus and God, is your leader, the servant of God, like, how can I help your people? And so that's my stance on that. I went through a lot of kicking and screaming and crying, asking God, why me? But once you're chosen, it doesn't matter what you look like, how life is. God's going to fix you up and put you on that path.
You
but
speak
to your
about
point, yes.
You speak about entrepreneurship through a spiritual point of view.
Yeah.
To the next entrepreneur that is out there, what is your advice to them?
My advice is to do what you're passionate about. Do what you love and worry about the financial gain. Worry about all that comes with that afterwards. Because if you're working or doing a job that you are miserable in and uncomfortable with, no matter how much money you're making, do you really want to get up and go to that job in the morning? Maybe or maybe not. So definitely pick and choose wisely, but also make smart decisions. If you're working at 9 to 5 and you want to be an entrepreneur, but you don't have the resources, you don't have the time or the planning, still work that 9 to 5 while you hustle and build your business before you jump ship. You know, God said at least by faith, but he also said to follow and do things with sense. Okay. So that find your happy medium, but definitely do what you love.
I also want to know, since you've transitioned, have you found it harder to transition into the more spiritual realm versus tutoring? And do you still offer your tutoring services for the youth?
Yeah, great question. So for right now, I do not offer the tutoring. As life has, progressed, I've had more kids, so my time is very limited. So I don't have like the afternoon core time that I would do the tutoring. But what I do have available for the evening and on the weekend is the mentoring for the students. And what that program basically covers is self-care, understanding who they are, loving themselves, trying to figure out what is it that they dislike about themselves and seeing how we can flip that. We also have a section of grounding, doing affirmations for kids, deep breathing, meditations, and solidifying that connection with them and God, and just their faith and understanding you're not alone and there's a power higher than us. And then lastly, support. A lot of students, their parents are telling them the exactly right thing and they don't want to hear it. And then here I come and I say the same thing and all I do is confirm what the parent says. So in that session, I help them understand that you do have a support system that you can lean on and that you trust, and make sure that you use them, as well as tips on academics. From my tutoring, Uniquely Me Services on YouTube has a lot of my educational videos of outlining for a paper, time management for studying. So there's still a couple tips as well that you can have your students watch the video before this upcoming school year. Yeah, and then in terms of transitioning into the spiritual space, I do not do this full time. So I am in the 9 to 5 in corporate America. And I do this, if there's a need for me to help someone virtually, I'm going to do it. If there's a need for help to help someone and unfortunately I'm not getting paid for it, if God told me I have to help that person, that's what I do. And so for this, I'm not making money out of it. I'm just doing it for the love and just for the people.
Okay, so it almost sounds as though you're volunteering and you consist of a nonprofit to a certain extent. It's a profit nonprofit type situation, whatever the spirit leads you to do.
Yes, exactly. And scalability, that becomes hard in a business. So I am still trying to figure out, what that looks for me long term. Scale and grow.
Now, you also spoke about grounding for children. What does that exactly look like to the average parent who is looking to help their child be grounded?
Yes, quiet time. These kids love the tablet, the electronics, the TV. We have to find a way, especially before bed, to calm their minds down. And I've noticed that does help a lot when it comes to just regulation, emotional regulation, going to sleep better, and just also waking up and feeling better. And the meditation doesn't have to be for 10 minutes. It could be within themselves and within their faith. My 7-year-old, he has been watching me with like some of my spiritual practices, such as praying and, doing Reiki healing, and he took to it. Quick story, we were driving and it was thunderstorming and it was the emergency alert, and it was pouring rain and I couldn't see and I wanted to turn around and I'm saying to myself, I'm like, Lord, I got to get him to this doctor's appointment. And by the time we were driving toward the doctor's appointment, the rain started to stop, the sun started to come out, and he said, Mom, I prayed to God 3 times. I said, you did what now? He said, I prayed to God 3 times. I asked him if he can protect us and allow the rain to stop so we can get there safely. And that's all because he watches me, and then I work with him little by little on just meeting him where he's at and teaching him at his level, because he's 7. But to me, that made me feel like I'm not perfect, but I'm doing something right. Yeah, and that's what it is, right? When you're scared, when you're isolated, when you are worried, when you're anxious, who do you call on? Do you sit there and get in your head and feel like you don't have the control? Or do you kind of relax and say, God, I need you to come in and help me at this time? It's empowering our children, because the challenge is the energies, the people that we face nowadays, it's not like how it was before. It's 10 times worse. And so we got to start with our little people as well.
Now, I know that, like you said, you have a lot going on, so I won't keep you too long. Is there anything else that you want to get out there to the people?
Yes, I want to get out there that I am interested in meeting new people and connecting and, really networking. If you are interested in any of the services or any of the, things that I talked about today, and you want to follow me and stay connected and learn more, please check out www.thehopepriestess.com. That's my TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, email. You also will see my Etsy shop that is available, but it's down right now. So work with me, as well as my services. So I have virtual services and in-person services. All of that info is on that website, www.thehopepriestess.com. And otherwise, I am just thankful for this opportunity. And,
thank you for allowing me to interview you today, Hope Priestess, here on the Morgan News Hour on WEAA 88.9 FM, the voice of the community.